This is not a test. Don't expect to be impressed. Put on your life vest. Sit down your armrest. It's time to stray from the grind. Don't take my hand 'cause you'll find no peace of mind. Side quest.
Hi there, and welcome to Side Quest, the game we do between the games. It's not really a game, less talking at each other is a game, but that's kind of what we do in the games anyway. Anyway, let's not get existential about it. We're here with a special side quest, I guess, because we're just fresh from A&D Con 2023. Fresh is definitely the wrong word. We are back from that con. I'm Steve Weverill. I have with me today con guests, special con guests, Robert Bevan, MK Gibson, and Judy Black. Hiya.
Hello, friends.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah, so 3 days of madness and geekery in Portland, Oregon. It's kind of, I think Rick compared the con to New Year's Eve, whereas a lot of build-up, a lot of patches that you can't remember properly, and then just about a week to get back to normal and fail whatever resolutions you made. But yeah, how's everybody feeling?
Well, several days removed, I'm rested.
I wouldn't say rested.
You're feeling better.
Not rested, but I'm normal, which is in a normal state of not rested.
There.
You have remarkable recuperative powers, Bevan. I've always said that about you. You should be dead by now, really.
Well, that is true.
Here you are. It's inspiring. Yeah, it was kind of a long flight for me. It's about a 10-hour flight. Jet lag hit me hard, both ways this time. So if you did see me at the con and I was a little spaced out, it wasn't just the drugs.
Yeah, I was going to say jet lag.
And for me, it was total jet lag. I got up at the butt crack of dawn to fly. I 2 a.m. on the East Coast to get to the Baltimore airport by 4 a.m. Flew out at 6 a.m. Got to touchdown in Minneapolis, a little layover. Got to Portland at around noonish Portland time. Hit the con, set up the table, go. And then by 9 o'clock that night, which would have been like, I guess, my midnight, I just Peter Griffined into bed, just snored and dead to the world. Just to do it again and do it again.
Yep, me too. 3 hours from the East Coast to Portland, and I did not think it would be like that impactful. But yeah, the whole time, and then like all this week so far, I've been like, I don't know what time it is. I don't know what's going on. I'm here. I don't know what more you want from me. I'm here.
Yeah, I'm also East Coaster. I didn't find that the time difference or the jet lag was a big factor. It was just, like Gibby said, getting up for such an early flight, making a connection, and then the stress of it all. I can't sleep on planes for whatever reason. Can't stay awake on a bus. I don't know what that's all about. But yeah, so didn't get a lot of rest there.
I was about to say, I don't know what time it is. I still think it's yesterday. But as it's after midnight, I suppose I still think it's Wednesday. I don't know. And I didn't talk to a single person, I don't think, who didn't have some kind of fuckery with their flight. Mm-hmm. Some kind of delay.
I'm actually thankful mine was on time, zero problems. It's just long. And then the fly back that night, I left the con right around 4 o'clock, got to the airport, got the security, flew out at I think it was 7 that evening. And then I got in Monday morning at 6:30. Because now we're jumping forward in time. And I did that little break at Salt Lake and then drive back from there to my house. So I got back to my house at 7:30 the next morning. And again, hugged the family, hugged the dogs, hugged the boy, took a hot shower, and passed out till 2 in the afternoon. Bam, done.
There you go, efficient.
But it was a great time. Yeah.
Yeah, enough complaining. I do like complaining. Let's just complain about other things. Yeah, it was a hell of a con. We had a great guest lineup. We had Matt Dinnerman, Jeff Hayes, Matt Unmark, David North. So many guests. It was a good time. There were old faces and new faces. I met some new people. We put on a kind of, I guess the shows were a little different this time. Drew put on that quiz, which was cool. We got to screen the Shingles movie, which was cool, unless you hated the Shingles movie. But then again,
A couple people did.
Yeah.
It
I
said so.
mean, the projector seemed to, because it died for quite a while.
even the projector
That was good for
hated
me because
Shingles.
I was with Steve doing a Hero Quest, and I got to catch the last half of the movie
Nice.
because it was delayed.
That was convenient. Yeah, Shingles, it's meant to be divisive. We didn't make that movie thinking this is going to appeal to everyone.
Bring world peace.
Yeah. Quite the opposite. I'm hoping the movie is some sort of stage of the apocalypse. It probably is. Only time will tell.
Well, someone's got a, what was that movie? Movie 42 that everybody was like, oh no. What a,
Somebody has to take on movie 42.
someone's got to do it.
But yeah, good point actually. The gaming, that was different this year. We always have gaming. People do love to come and game together and have a nice time with fellow nerds. But we're doing kind of more structured gaming this time. Each member of the cast was kind of bringing something new to the table. I think Drew did all red flags. Judy, you did like a crash course in D&D, right?
Yeah, we ran a game with like 9 people. It was just complete and total chaos. 'Cause
Oh, wow.
That's a lot of people to be running a game with.
That does sound that sounds hard. I did the opposite of hard. I took Hero Quest, which is D&D stripped right down until you don't have to think, which was ideal for like whatever time it was I was doing it. Massively hungover. Bevan, what did you play?
I did Catan because, like a week before the con, somebody on my Discord said, "Oh, I'm looking forward to your game, the game you're running." And I thought, "Oh crap, I need to run a D&D game. I can't do that." So I was stressing about it for a little while, and then I told you, Steve, about it, and he said, "No, you're not. It doesn't have to be D&D. You can do any game." And that was like the day before I was supposed to leave. So all right, Catan.
Just looked at his shelf, sort of first
Yeah.
one there. It was Catan or Twister.
Now, Steve, you ran a game for your first time
Yeah.
running. I didn't get a chance to see it because I was stuck doing something else. But how'd that go?
That's true. I run my first live event game, not in the gaming room, on the stage with people watching. It was a bit nerve-wracking. I was a bit nervous. I've never done it before. But I kind of cheated. It was a bit more of a, I guess, stripped-down version of D&D. I used a PowerPoint presentation. Let's put it that way.
That's appropriate for
Yeah.
doing it on stage though.
Yeah, I thought so.
You can't
People
have
laughed.
everybody like looking up rules and like calculating
Yeah,
dice
you can't
rolls
spend
and
20
shit.
minutes arguing about what counts as a container for create and destroy water in the middle of a live game. Like, no.
But the arguing's the best part. But yeah, well, people will get to judge whether the approach worked. That is an advantage of the con. We do have like gobs of live content we've recorded. We will be releasing that throughout the coming weeks, so something to look forward to there if you weren't able to attend the con. Gibby, you did kind of you did something a bit special because you ran like a more traditional D&D game. Well, I say traditional, but we raffled off a couple of like free spaces on the game, so they had the privilege of playing alongside Bevan and I.
I was real happy about that because
You're welcome.
Drew was coming to me afterwards. He's like, your slots filled up really fast. When people run a raffle, they want to play in your game. I'm like, and that was very touching. I'm like, man, you have no fucking clue what you're in for because I mean, unfortunately, I was not wearing my glasses. I was wearing my contacts, and I've reached that age now that if anything's real close, I can't see it very well. So I missed entire plot points on my own notes, and I'm just trying to like skip by it as fast as possible. I mean, there was like when you guys were up there playing, there was one more item you're supposed to find to move one of the knights. Totally missed it. Totally skipped over it. Forgot about it till I got home, read my notes. Like, son of a bitch. No one seemed to notice or care because we were just having some dumb fun. And I really liked the one moment where I was going to kill one of the players. I was legitimately going to do it. It was April, but she made a great roll. Now I could have changed that roll.
Killer.
With one of, no. I mean permadead. The creature I had a bonus action to make her permadead, to absorb her.
Okay.
And I could have negated her. She rolled the Constitution save, and I could have negated it because the audience gave me a veto. But
Mm.
it felt so cool to see her because she's like, I don't play very often. I'm new at this, and I don't know. So just bear with me. You're going to do fine. So when she made the save,
Fuck you.
Yes,
Yeah.
but when she made the save and survived in front of the audience and they applauded, I'm not that big a dick. I just can't say no. Take it away.
Welcome
Now,
to
if this was a
D&D.
character in my book,
Now die forever.
Welcome to the graveyard. Yeah,
Burn in hell.
get wrecked.
exactly. Well, that's where you just like now charm her and attack your
Yeah.
party and make it good.
God.
But no, it went good. It went well, and thank you too for playing in it as well. And I'm glad you guys got in on the joke of parodying the authors, and it was fun.
It was fun. Everybody had a nice time.
So much parody of the author, but just played a pedophile.
Stick to the classics, Bevan. Stick to what works.
Well, like your version of Rick was just so surly. Like I'm not. I thought you were legitimately mad at me, Steve, because you were just sitting there. Like I don't know if you're just really good at role playing, or I don't want to be stuck here and this is stupid. So you were just. I don't know, or if that's how you think.
My
Rick
only
is.
real experience of Rick playing D&D is
God.
Silas Kane and trying to destroy his insulty bastards. That's like 70% of my interactions with Rick, so that's what I had to go on. I know he's a nice guy in real life, but I don't get any of that. Oh yeah, that was a fun one. Speaking of live games, of course we had the main game, Quest for Competence, so that will be coming out soon. We have my sub game that will be coming out. What else did we have on the main stage?
Yeah, Salty Bastard.
We have Salty Bastards.
We had Salty Bastards returning. First of what I think will be a two-parter, because we ran into our own incompetence
Shocking how that
once again.
We didn't do anything in there.
It's amazing we don't factor this into our plans by now.
I did less in that game than I've done when I spent the entire combat peeing on something.
That's true. God, you really
Which game? You peed in my game too. So,
Yeah, but I did other stuff.
there you go. You've got to set new records now and then just to keep the challenge alive. Yeah, but we had a live reading by Matt Dinnerman and Jeff Hayes, who were a very cool couple of guys. So that'll definitely be something that people want to see. I really hope we recorded that. And yeah, we had Scott Burtness doing an improv, writing a story by improv show. So hopefully we've got that too. If not, it's not my fault you missed it. It's your fault. Next time, go to the con. There was lots of cool stuff on that wasn't captured by camera. We tried to document as much about the defiling of the Rick cardboard cutout as we could.
Yeah, that was so good. There were so many people in the bathroom helping coordinate that shot. It was an incredible amount of team effort.
man, following those pictures was amazing. Him peeking under the stall was one of my favorites.
We nearly got kicked out of the elementary school.
Well, this is how art is made.
It
yeah,
was.
for those of you who weren't at the con, Rick unfortunately couldn't make it, so somebody did a very disturbingly realistic cardboard cutout in his place, which was immediately and horribly assaulted over the course of 3 days. Oh, it was good times. Not that much different from a regular con, now that I think about it.
I had one proud moment during the con. It was
I didn't.
if you never did you get a chance to? I assume you all met Andrell and Aaron. I think it's
Yes!
Lankowitz.
Oh my god, so good.
He has that one card game he is creating. He's going to try hopefully do it in Kickstarter very soon. Slaughterland.
All right.
So, okay. So he brought that over to us. I think something else was going on. We were sitting in the author's alley, just kind of like hanging out because there was very little foot traffic at the time. He said, "Hey, do you guys want to try?" I'm like, "I hadn't played it yet." I'm like, "Yeah, I'd love to." Just to find out that everybody's looking at Dinneman because Matt's never lost a game. He's always won. So we were playing, and then it came down to Matt Dinneman and me. And we were sitting there, we readjusted our chairs. So we're not only just face to face, we're like, we've locked leg to leg. Like our knees are intertwined like this. So we are eye to eye. And we tried to thumb and Louise it, so we both ended up winning. But Aaron says no, per game rules, it's going to be one person. So technically I won.
Yes.
And Matt signed a book for
Yes.
me, says, "Dear Gibby, fuck you. I will destroy you one day." Matt Dinneman.
That means you definitely won. There's nothing technical
Yeah.
about that. If you were cursed
So I took a
afterwards.
picture. I put the picture of that on my on my
Yeah.
author page on Facebook,
Leave
and
at the
like
top.
the fans reacted. Even Matt chimed back. He's like, "You asshole! I will destroy you one day. You are my enemy." I'm like, "I'm retiring. I'm retiring. I've got a perfect record. I've never been beaten."
Yeah, the slaughter, what was it called? Slaughterhouse? That went down really well.
I think it's Slaughterland. We were
Slaughterland.
trying to
Slaughterland,
pitch him
I
a change. Like, how about you change the name to Peril? Because half the game is about getting in and out of peril. Like, I think that'd be a dope name. But it's a great game. And when it comes
so
to Kickstarter, I
fun.
will totally back it.
Yeah, it was so
Nice.
fun. I only got to play one round of it, and it was incredible.
I didn't get a chance to play, but I think we are going to be hearing more from Nat as well. And
I
again,
played
one
the
of
full
those
game. It was fun.
Yeah.
one of those things that we probably should have filmed but didn't. Again, sorry if you couldn't attend the con.
Because
And
it was me, Dinneman, Scott Young, Burtness, one of the kids, and then a couple other people joined in. So I think we had like 7 people sitting around playing that. It was a blast. It was such a
Yeah.
blast.
Nice.
Yeah, Kyle came and hunted me down to join them when they were playing it.
Yeah, it was a really great atmosphere. And again, I'm genuinely sorry if you couldn't make it, but to all those who did show up, well done. You really made the event. We all had a fantastic time. And that wasn't down to me. I put in very little effort, so thank you.
Not at all. I didn't leave the hotel unless I was forced, man.
Yeah, speaking of having a fantastic time, did you guys get to sample the Portland nightlife?
I sampled some of the local cuisine during the day, but come come like 11 o'clock, that's my 2 a.m. and I'm dead at that point. So I was a good little boy, went to bed at a decent hour most nights. I think midnight was my latest I stayed up. And 2 drinks later, I'm like, oh, I'm sleepy. So
I've learned 2 valuable lessons. If you want to find out where the best bar is, follow Scott Madness.
I heard.
If you want to feel like absolute dog shit the next day, drink with Matt Dinneman.
I heard about, is that the old crow story? I heard a little bit about that.
He was weirdly fresh the next day. Every time we went out, inevitably we'd end up bumping into Matt about 2 a.m. I'd be like, oh my God, it must be 2 a.m. There's Matt. I'm going immediately home. And the next day he was fine. Like as if nothing had happened. Like a ghost.
In my military days, I could have done that, but I'm not. Those are many years removed. Like, I don't bounce back, so I don't try.
No, I still haven't bounced back. I doubt I ever will.
My intention was to drink beer in the hotel every night I was there. But I was dragged to a bar and immediately cut off.
I heard about that.
Now,
I heard. How'd that go?
I've drank with you a few times, Bevan, and I got to say, in this instance, you're right. It was an injustice. You did not deserve to be cut off. That was just a very surly barmaid.
Yeah, she was.
And I think we have the reviews to back it up. So I'm going to call it. That was an injustice. Justice for Robert Bevan.
Did you really need another Portland IPA when all you really wanted was like not that?
I wanted to go back anyway. I had a cooler full of beer waiting for me.
That's true. In a way, you cut her off.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Since she's here, I just want to say thank you to Judy for allowing me to join you and the rest of the group during that game. That was very much appreciated. It was just when Hartness sat next to me, he's like, "Hey, we're a person down. How good are you at
that
improv?"
was
I'm like,
so
"You need me to go
fun.
on that stage, don't you?" He's like, "Yeah, get your ass up there." I'm like, "Oh, oh boy." And I'm looking at you. I'm looking at the other people. Like they have a cohesion. They've got a timing. I'm gonna fuck this up.
Oh, you give us far too much credit.
Well, now that I'm listening back to the episodes, yeah, I am. But the point is, it's a lot of fun. But no, it was a lot of fun. And you guys did great, and I'm just glad I got to play along.
Yes, I look forward to listeners. Again, Quest for Competence, a surprise insert from Gibby as an extra player. So keep an eye out for that one.
Gets very intimately familiar with one particular player very quickly.
Oh,
Yes.
Lord.
Christ.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Listenership for that just doubled. Yeah, a bunch of perverts.
Yep, that was something. Yeah.
Ah, that was
It was
heartwarming.
so cute. Well, it's so cute. They met in the A&D Discord, and then like the first time they met in person was at A&D Vegas. So it's like so sweet.
I keep on telling people that if you want to find true happiness, you have to listen to our podcast. The only way. Very few people listen to it, but it's living proof.
Are we allowed to name them by name, or is that not no bueno on the podcast?
You know what? I'm not sure.
Okay.
Can name it by their Discord names, maybe, because they're not real names. You know what? I'm going to say we just leave it to the magic of the moment. And if you didn't go
Fantastic.
to the con, it's
Join
your
if
fault.
you join the Patreon and sign
Yep.
up and join our Discord, perhaps you will meet these elusive people who were engaged.
That's true. You can join the Patreon. I do recommend joining the Patreon, actually, if you haven't. Not just because I'm greedy and I want your money. That's true, too. But it was really cool to have so many people who kind of had this consistent relationship just meeting up in real life. Nothing felt forced. Nobody felt like a stranger. There was this big group of welcoming people who knew each other. A really nice vibe. And I think the Patreon played a large part in that, so that was nice.
Yeah, it was. And then you see someone and you're like, oh my god, you're so-and-so on Discord. We've played Jackbox a million times together. So it was really nice to kind of like have that already built in.
It was cool. Yeah, speaking of nightlife, I did not make things easy for myself at all. I think I got lost about 3 times in Portland. Once per day. And it was hot out there.
Oh my god, it was so nice. I don't even want to hear it was hot.
It was unusually hot. I always complain about not getting a summer in England. But there was something about the heat and being in a city where I just felt like I was constantly in a dog fart. Just trapped in a dog fart. But, nice city, but just like in an oven full of dog anus.
Yeah.
Nice city.
That's a one word. That's one way of saying it.
Yeah, that's a description of it.
I liked, what was I going to say? I like seedy underground bars and artisanal coffee shops. I'm easily pleased. Everything else, is just spaces in between those things.
Oh.
The only anus I saw wasn't a dog's.
I'm not being literal, I was being metaphorical, but there was a
being
literal
literal.
anus. That happened on one of the times that Bevan and I got lost. I think the first day, I just started marching out confidently with Drew. And this happened every time we went, oh, we're going to go to this place. And we got there. Eventually. Oh, it's closed. Okay, we'll go this direction. Oh, that's close too. And I'm like, I've been walking for 2 hours, dude. That happened the next day with Bevan, and we saw an anus. And the third day with Brendan McGinley, who you may know from the old crack days and man cave days. He came over. He was good enough to step out with me for a little while. But, I got very sweaty and lost. So I missed, large chunks of the con just by trudging around a city. A hot city filled with surprise anus.
I think it was somewhere on Saturday. Jeff Hayes is like, I'm hungry. You want to get something to eat? I'm like, yeah, sure. He and I walked out. We walked in a direction, and we eventually passed a street market. And we're like, we just found once we found the first fish and chips place, we're like, let's just eat here. Let's just go. Yep, that's it. And we just sat down and had delicious fish and chips. It was very good. But it was, I don't know where we're going. We passed a couple of bazaars and a lot of local Portlandians. So it was an interesting walkabout.
Yeah.
It's always an interesting walkabout. I think Portland, I can safely say, without risk of being made to sound unfair, that in Portland you can walk down a really nice street, then you can take a turn and just walk through something that looks a bit like Mad Max, complete with assless chaps. And not being native, I didn't really know how to navigate that. So it was. I like to think I experienced the full available culture of Portland.
Yeah, I wandered into a PETA protest trying to find bubble tea, so that was exciting. It was just like, what's happening? Why are people yelling about fur? Oh,
At least you were looking for bubble tea and not, for example, an affordable
Steak.
fur coat.
Yeah.
You just come out of the fur coat and burger shop. Uh-oh.
Or panda viscera tea.
Panda viscera tea. That sounds delicious.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So an interesting place. But we went to some cool bars and some nice places to eat. Where was that restaurant we went to? It was the oldest restaurant in Portland. The Uber Cafe, was it? Does no one else remember?
No.
It's your story, brother. I have no idea.
I had nothing to do with your story.
It may not have happened, I know. It was a very rough weekend. Bevan, you were definitely there. Help me out.
Wait, was I?
Yeah, somebody bought me a slice of pumpkin pie and made me
Oh.
eat it.
Oh, all right. I don't remember what that place was called. I didn't know it was the oldest restaurant in Portland. I
Maybe I
enjoyed
just
my
made it
meal.
up. Maybe somebody just told me that and was lying to me. I don't know.
I
I'm a
remember the
tourist.
pumpkin pie. It was good
Yeah.
pumpkin pie. I had a bite because you didn't want it all.
No. Well, it was a good pumpkin pie.
Was that your
I
first
do-
time?
Well, we've
me.
had a very large argument about the necessity of making pie out of what essentially looks like if that alien out of Nope had testicles. And so my argument is like, yes, you did make a good pie out of this abomination, but you could have made a pie out of anything else, and it would have been just as good, if not better. So while I did appreciate the gesture, and I do feel like I've been educated somewhat, I'm still choosing to be bitter, as I often do on this podcast.
Unlike that sweet pumpkin pie.
See, here in the good old U.S. and Orve, it is becoming pumpkin season very quickly. And all my closest friends, family, and peer group know I hate this time of year when it comes to the pumpkin and pumpkin spice. And they intentionally mock me. And I've got 4 pictures on my phone today of friends sending me, hey, the pumpkin spice latte's back at blank and blank. Hey, I got this pumpkin spice, whatever. I'm like, I hope you all get diabetes. I say this with love. But when your foot falls off from the cinnamon, the sugar, the vanilla, and all that crap, I'm gonna call you Stumpy and make fun of you. And I love you. You're my friends. But truly, see, Big Pumpkin knows that this average flavor could be year round. If we could have an orange year round, we could have a pumpkin year round. But they don't, because they have an average product and they know it. They toad it out once a year, sprinkle some nutmeg and cinnamon on it, and call it special.
Pumpkin.
It's average
See,
at best.
There we go.
God.
Gibby gets me. You could have the entire kind of pumpkin spice thing without the pumpkin.
No, I can.
It's just.
There is no pumpkin pie that's better than a cheesecake. And I put my foot down
I'll
on
give
that.
you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's bait for goth girls. That's all it is.
What?
Oh, it's got the spooky fruit in it.
Spooky.
Just eat something nice. Eat something that doesn't look like it's been prolapsed out of Satan.
This is where the sorority girls and the goth girls can meet in the middle and actually have an armistice because of
When
the
did
pumpkin.
goth
So
girls become known for pumpkin spice? What?
'Cause
Halloween.
It's awesome. They're out there sitting on
I
pumpkins
can
already.
hear my roommates yelling in the other room about something about pumpkin spice.
Oh, they put a little Jack skeleton on the cup. I'll pay $10. Well,
Okay. I'm gonna go hunt down my local Hot Topic and see how many people have pumpkin spice in there.
well, they probably just have raw pumpkin. The
They're
freaks.
vegan.
Our pumpkin's vegan. It feels not. It feels like they shouldn't be. That's something about a pumpkin that just looks horribly animal to me.
It is a meaty, like plant pie. So
Yeah, it's very.
it's got some
Anyway,
charm to it.
I'm getting wildly off topic. I had the pie. It was nice. It wasn't served to me by a goth. Nobody started singing "This Is Halloween."
Well,
It was
that
fine.
would have enhanced the experience. They really let you down there.
It probably would have, actually. I should leave them a
Yeah.
bad review. I will. As soon as this podcast is done. Did anybody else try anything interestingly culinary? I know that like pumpkin pie is not exotic for you people.
Rachel and I had the cock and balls vegan donut, and Kyle, and JLD.
Yeah, I saw the video. You guys really made that
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
We sure did. It was okay. It was not. The regular donuts I had from Voodoo were much better than that one. That one was not very tasty at all, if I'm honest. It was no.
Salty.
It was yeah.
Yeah, turgent,
Ugh. Very plain.
filled with goo. Yeah, I think listeners, you can probably track that down on social media. I'm not going to tell you where it is. I don't want any part in this. But if you want to see RE Card deep throating a donut, you can get
You
that
can.
now.
It is available on the interwebs.
You don't need to write a fanfic. You don't need AI. It's out there in the world.
It's beautifully shot. The video done for it was just lovely.
Yeah, it's probably the most highly produced piece of content that was produced at the con. That and making it look like somebody had jizzed on Rick's face. There's a lot of artistry going on at this con.
Rick's reactions to that were the best all over social media. Like, I don't know who befouled my image or why it's so short, but damn it.
He knew.
He could have guessed. If he'd spent a couple of minutes thinking about it, he would have narrowed it down to one or two people. And both of them would have been Bevan. But yeah, I remember seeing a message from him. It's like, I know the other day I was waxing sad about not being able to make it at the con, but now I'm glad I didn't go. As if we'd kidnap him and force him into a cubicle if he wasn't a cardboard cutout. I mean, he did it because he couldn't fight back. But yeah, I got a Voodoo donut. Lamplighter from the Discord bought me an old dirty bastard. I don't know what she was trying to say. But yeah, I ate the entire thing and immediately regretted doing that. It's delicious, but I don't think you're supposed to eat that much sugar in one sitting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she bought me one with Butterfinger sprinkles on it, and that was good. It was a small one though, so that was.
What was that donut called? You fucking prick, or something.
Maybe. If it was, she didn't tell me that.
You absolute.
Someone brought
belly.
around the box of the mini versions around to Author's Alley last night, and I had one with Fruity Pebbles on it, and but it was like a little tiny one, so I ate 4. So I wanted because that was so damn good.
Oh, you got to mix and match. You got to do a paddle of donuts. Very poor.
A flight of donuts.
Flights. Yeah, maybe the donuts don't actually have offensive names. Maybe
They do.
Maybe that's just... Oh, good. All right. Now I'm taking it less personally. This donut's called Steve is a Dick.
Yeah, I don't think I have my phone with me, but they had a whole carousel of them, and I just stood there transfixed because I was sleepy and easily hypnotized, so...
A whirling combination of sugar and filth. If anything else sums up the con better, I don't know what it is. Well, I'm glad everybody else had a nice time. I certainly did. It was interesting. Met some wonderful people. Got some terrible hangovers. And, the stereotype about Portland beer. Yeah, it's true. They do some good beer. Everywhere we went had some nice selection of booze. Bar the actual hotel the bar in the hotel, because I don't know if they had any good alcohol, because the barman there was, every time I went to him, he was making 12 John Collins or something. It's like, hey, can I have just a beer? Like, yeah, I'll get back to you when I've made
800 drinks.
52 exquisite drinks for customers you can't see. But so that was a bit of a downer, but no, I had some nice porters out there, some nice stouts. I wore my flat cap, did the whole hipster thing. Yeah, I felt very pretentious and smug. It was great.
Did you wear a scarf while you did it?
No, I forgot to scarf. It was too hot for a scarf.
It's never. Well, you just got to get the
Yeah.
thinner material. Fans out there, Steve needs a scarf. So can we get a GoFundMe for Steve's pretentious scarves?
Go fund me.
It's too late now. The next
for next
con-
year. I don't know.
Next
It doesn't
con,
matter
you're
where
going to
it's
have a
at.
scarf and a hat, and it's going to be nowhere near any hipsters. It'll be perfect.
Yeah, we'll do it in
Yeah.
Alabama, and they can come after me with pitchforks or whatever.
Those people don't read books.
Well, now we're not having it in Alabama.
We're probably not having it out.
Cross
Now
that
off
off
the
the list.
And they're
Nope.
going to cross the Georgia border to come for Bevan. So
Nah, Georgia's defenses are tough, man. Can't be breached
That's
by
true.
Alabama.
yeah, it's just
Florida,
humidity. I've been
Florida
in
is
that
the
state.
dangerous one for Georgia.
I'm trying to think what other events we missed. I know Judy, you ran a guest game,
I
and that
did.
was with Actus
Yeah, how'd that
and
go?
Matt and Jeff and who was the other member?
Oh, the narrator, Amy Langdon, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Amy Landon, yes.
Mhm. Yeah, it was good. We had a talent show in Barovia, and the loser
Oh, nice.
was supposed to die, but all the players decided that they would work together to do a shadow puppet show as their talent.
Well, actually, don't spoil how that
Yeah.
ended. I'm assuming they all died anyway. Because that's
you know, there.
if I was an audience member, I would have demanded their death. But
Yeah, heads did roll, so
the listeners will just have to wait to find out. Because I'm
they sure
definitely sure we recorded that one.
Yep, but yeah, it was great. We had a lot of fun doing absolutely nothing helpful for the talent show actual portion of anything. It was great.
Brilliant. That's kind of like how we do the convention as well, so it's fitting.
Mm.
Nothing helpful for the talent
Oh.
at all. But yeah, it's a wonderful time. Bren Robertson was there again, sorting our tech
Yes.
issues out. We actually had some pretty challenging tech issues this time, so the guy really earned his keep.
I was so glad the Salty
Uh,
Bastards one worked out because I was the backup DM for that, and I was so not ready to do that because I found out I was the backup DM for that like an hour before it.
Yeah, we managed to get Rick to phone in the literal sense instead of the metaphorical sense. And yeah, so there'll be a Salty Bastard game soon for everyone to listen to.
Woohoo.
Resurrecting some old favourite characters for one night of glory. But yeah, I think that's it. That's quite
Oh,
a few events.
I had a Gigi cosplayer, which was like the coolest thing.
Ah,
Yes, I saw. I got a picture.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, I took the
So
picture
that
of you
was, that
too.
was cool. They knitted their own like horns and tail, and it was rad. So that was like yeah. So
Dryad
that was a
from the
total
Discord, right?
highlight.
yeah, that was
That
cool.
was cool.
I had
Yes, that was
Devin
so
cosplayers.
good.
not a character.
It was
That
so good.
was
Me.
amazing. Because I'll be honest,
It was fucking weird.
I
Yes,
knew
it
who they
was.
were out of costume. I've met them at other cons, but once they were in costume, I did not know that's who they were. I just saw
I
these
didn't
three
either.
Bevins walking around. I didn't realize it was them. I didn't realize it was that particular family, and I'm like, I was dumbfounded. I just mouth open, and I'm just watching them go by. I'm like, okay,
It felt like somebody was planning like a Bevan themed heist.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah, when they came in the morning, I thought that I was still sleeping or something. I was like, what's happening? Yeah, I
Something's
was just
gone
like,
wrong.
what alternate dimension have I stepped into? What's happening?
But they leaned into it because they didn't go, ha, we all dressed up as Bevan, take a photo of Bevan, and then go, all right, this is stupid. They went around the entire town for like the entire day, just having a
They
Bevan
did. They
field
fully
trip.
committed, man.
You got to admire the moxie there. That was fantastic.
I didn't even do that.
They tried to get a drink and they were all just instantly cut off.
I'm just glad you kept the beard because otherwise, they'd be like, now I feel foolish. You know, so-
Yeah.
Man, you could have really messed with them and gone to a barber and gotten clean shaven while they were still in costume. Come back. No beard.
Just to mess with them. Just to ruin their wonderful gesture. It sounds like something you do.
No, I did the opposite though, because they all had they were all wearing a T-shirt that they were confident I was going to have on me. I wasn't wearing it when I first saw them, but next chance I got, I went and changed into that one because I did indeed bring it with me.
Oh man, they
Aw,
were. Yeah.
you're a sweetheart.
it was I think it was the compression socks. That really, it was the little touches
And the
that put it over
cooler
the edge
that they
for me.
wheeled around with them. Yes.
Yes, they just took it with
yes.
them.
It was
It
incredible.
was high commitment, yeah. It was lovely. And we had Zach of all trades stepping up again. Last year he came as Björk Bjornsson, did a really good job. This time came as Silas Kane, complete with invisible arrows of Torek.
Yeah, that was great.
That guy's committed.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, that was a really good costume.
Yeah, and he'd had the voice too. He could do the voice too, which was really fun.
He did a surprisingly accurate impression of Rick.
Yes.
Yeah, I should mention for the listeners, if you didn't come to the con, again, sorry you didn't make it. Hope we see you next time. But if you go on our Facebook or our Facebook group, or hey, the Patreon maybe, you should be able to see all these photos flying around. We captured some of the magic. And of course, if you just listen to the podcast, then you'll get to hear some of the live stuff as well. Just to reassure you on that. So, closing thoughts. How did everybody feel about Authors and Dragons Con 2023, Portland, Oregon?
Felt good about it.
Who wants to go first?
Yeah, somebody can go first.
Yeah, I had an amazing time, and but I'm kind of glad to be home now. Looking forward to the next one.
Judy.
I felt like this is the first convention where I actually was like a part of the Authors and Dragons crew, because the last ones I've been to I haven't been. So that made it a very different and very cool experience, and the fans just like are the sweetest people in the world. So yeah, it was great.
Oh, I thought you would say this time I was part of the crew, and that made it suck.
God was the worst. I'd go on stage with those guys. God. No.
I mean, it's a fair opinion. Gibby.
I had a blast because last year is the first year I got to come out as a guest, and that was amazing. But I also have like such social anxiety. I put on a big smile and I talk a lot, but inside I'm freaking the fuck out. And give like those kind of mental blinders on. But this year, it was like a reunion, like a homecoming. And everybody was like Gibby, and they knew me by name, and that was very cool. And I got a chance to I roomed with Hartness. So in the evenings, like if he decides he's going to talk to you about just business and writing, you shut up and you listen, and that was really cool. And then one of my fans from my author page drove up from Northern California with his friend to come and see me there. They brought his name is Levi, and he's a cool guy, and he makes homemade action figures. And he brought me an action figure of me to give to me, and it was like so badass. He's like, "Hey, I've booked." I'm like, "I'll sign whatever you want, buddy. You made the trip," and it broke my heart. And there were a few other touching stories that this was a really good year, and I'm very thankful that I am tangentially associated with you all for as long as you'll keep me. So.
Oh, positive then. That's good. Yeah, I have to say, it was just nice catching up with some cool people, like talking to Matt and Jeff, just really passionate about Dungeon Crawler Carl. Scott is a delight.
Always.
I'm not the most actively social person. I'm kind of, once I get in a crowd, I just kind of bounce around. Doesn't help that I had a massive dissociative panic attack on the first day, after wandering around the city in the sun for 2 hours trying to do drugs. But yeah, that didn't work. That set a tone for the entire weekend. But upshot of that, I didn't get to talk to as many people as I wanted to. So if I didn't get to talk to you, really sorry. I'll try harder next time. Unless you didn't want to talk to me, in which case, thank you. Or you're welcome. Or however you deal with that rudeness.
I do have a good picture of you as Brandon, Gigi, and JLD together to send to you.
Oh, nice. Of course, we didn't even mention JLD. Not only did JLD turn up this time with his amazing artwork, but he did an entire figurine painting class, which went really well.
Yeah. They were having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so cool. That was one of the highlight events. Glad I remembered it at the 11th hour there. Yeah, it's just so nice to see everybody. Such a nice bunch of people. Yeah. We're quite the lucky con. So, again, if you did show up, thank you very much for making a wonderful time. If you didn't show up, I'm sorry to hear that. Hope to see you next time. Unless you didn't show up because you think we're all bellends, in which case, probably a good move on your part. Nah, show up anyway. It's fine. We are all bellends.
Or buy a ticket and don't show up.
That'll teach us.
Just send us money. That'll show us a thing or two. Just trying to think if there's anything I've left out. It was kind of a whirlwind, kind of a blur. Oh, we got to meet Ruby Bigfoot from the Patreon. She's been on a podcast a couple of times, Ruby Tuesday. She sometimes steps into our At the Movies events. She was there, and she is a delight. So, sorry you missed out if you did. Nah, I think that's everyone, right? I surely mentioned every single person at the con by now. And if I didn't, I'm sorry. Yeah, so that's it, I guess. Until we meet again, con goers. See you at A&D Con future year. In the meantime, enjoy the live content. Goodbye.
Woo!
Thank you. Goodbye.